All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tuesday night call. This is the online marketing call. We do these calls every Tuesday evening, and what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about Facebook because I got some questions that came in over the week about Facebook, and people wanted me to really talk about how to use Facebook and how they can market their business and what they should be doing on Facebook. So we'll talk about Facebook here on the top end of our call, and then I'll open up the call for any Q&A if you guys got any questions about the online marketing system itself or any other questions that you have about online marketing. As always, there is a chat button there where you can actually type in your question. I will pause from time to time to answer questions that you might have. And we're going to go ahead and get this call started. So we're going to talk about social marketing 101, and I truly believe that social marketing is a big deal today. You know, there's a lot of people that are on the internet, a lot of people using social media. They're using Instagram, they're using Snapchat, and, a lot of different tools. But one of the biggest tools that has just really done extremely well is Facebook. And you can't beat Facebook. I mean, Facebook is just one of those tools that you just have to take a look at. You have to use. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm just kind of walk you through some things that maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't seen, and just kind of give you some ideas on Facebook. But when you're on social media, there's some things that you should be paying attention to as it relates to social media. The first thing we call is social listening. And basically what social listening is just kind of sitting back and listening to what other people are talking about. What are they responding to? What are they having problems? What are they complaining about? What's the news that's going on? Because what you need to have is you need to have your marketer's hat on. And when you have your marketer's hat on, you don't react like the crowd reacts. You look at how the crowd reacts, and then you put your marketing strategies together based on what they're reacting to. If you know that the presidential election is coming up, then you're going to create your marketing strategies around the presidential election and what people are actually talking about. So those are things that are very, very important. A few weeks back, Snapchat came out, and it was an IPO. And I knew a lot of people were going to talk about that. So I talked about it for a couple of days on my channel because that was something that was on the forefront of everybody's mind, and that's something that they talked about. So you want to do social listening. The next thing you want to do is social influencing. And social influencing is very important because what it does is it establishes you as a trusted authority or resource. So I want you to think about this. If I look at your Facebook profile, if I look at your Twitter feed, if I look at, your Snapchat, do you have content that you have done on a consistent basis that establishes you as a trusted advisor or a trusted authority figure, right? So that's important. And that trust usually comes through distribution and sharing of valuable content. So, again, I can talk to myself. I can talk to some people that I've seen. I've seen Brian Bean do this. I've seen Cortez Springer do this. Haziq Ali do this. What they do is they're constantly putting out value. They're constantly putting out information on their channel. And so they are what people call a trusted authority. People trust them. They got great content, great information. They're not afraid of sharing, and they get out and they actually share their content. So you've got to start thinking about how do you influence those people that are following you on social media. And then social networking. Social networking is basically associating with those people that are influential, the authority folks, networking with those types of individuals that are social influencers. So you want to have a connection of friends that are also social influencers as well. Birds of a feather flock together. And so, if you want to get to be known and you want to really, really get out there and maximize your reach, then you're going to have to connect with those social influencers that already are out there maximizing their reach. So oftentimes you will see individuals that will have other individuals as guest speakers, or have other individuals as guest blog post writers, or they might share each other's content. And what they're doing is they're doing social networking, and they're basically using the influence of each other to make themselves even bigger. So you might want to think about that. You might want to think about the people that you're in touch with and who you want to build your influence around. And then finally, social selling. Social selling is the end result. That's really what it is that you want to do, and that's generating leads and sales from your followers. So, see, there's a lot of people out there that have followers that if that person said, hey, go buy this book or go buy this course, then they can sell that course pretty quickly. They can sell that course pretty quickly because they have the influence, and they have the network, and they have the followers. And so once you build your network and you build your followers, the social selling is easy. The problem that most people have is they start to try to sell on the front end before they've built that. So what you have to do is, it's easier for you to build the influence by just giving away free, valuable information, by just being that type of person that people see as an authority figure. And then once you start building such a large audience, at that point you can start selling. But in the beginning, you need to build and influence those people. So why did I start out with those things first? Because, as we go along, we start talking about Facebook, there's going to be some things that's very, very important, because, you only get one shot sometimes at making a first impression. And I know that you guys have heard that before. Now, when you look at this slide, I'm sure every person's eyeballs went to a certain section on this slide. There's no doubt in my mind that everybody sees what I saw, okay? And so one of the things that you have to be mindful of as you have your social media profile out there, you have to be mindful of what is your profile saying to people, right? Like, this young lady, she's probably at the beach, and you would say there's nothing really wrong with this picture, unless she's trying to be someone that's trying to sell financial services, if she is in the medical profession and she's a doctor or whatever. This is probably not the first impression that she wants people to have. Now, many of you don't have this type of glaring mistake on your Facebook page, but oftentimes, if I go through and take a look at your post, what are your posts saying on Facebook? Are you always complaining? Are you talking about the negatives? And see, what you really want to do is, on social media, the only time that you want to post on social media is when things are just great, when you're having a great time, when you got something positive to say. Now, I didn't say that you'll never have any negativity in your life. I said the only time you want to post on Facebook and post on your social media is when things are great and they're going good, because people really don't want to hear about the negative things in your life. And if you post negative things, then those types of things will start to hurt your profile and hurt your authority. See, you want to be able to build authority with your Facebook. And I'm going to talk about Facebook today, so that's what I'm talking about, okay? I saw something the other day on Facebook, and a gentleman, and I think they're in my econ, a gentleman, I guess somebody called him out on some foul language that he used or whatever, and he just thought that, what, foul language is okay, mind your own business, blah 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 blah. And I come from a different school. Now, I'm not going to criticize anybody. I have a few choice cuss words from time to time. I'm not saved from that myself, but I try to make sure that on my social media profile that what I do will be great for all people that look at it, not just one group of folks, but all people being able to look at that. Okay, and so I think we have to sometimes be careful because you could potentially turn off some really great people in your business if you're using foul language, and you would only attract certain types of people to your business, and those would be other people that like using foul language. They don't see anything wrong with foul language, and so I would be mindful to tell you to be careful of that. The conversation that I saw that went on, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize how many people just felt like there's nothing wrong with foul language. And there's a lot of people that feel that way, and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And so society starts to slowly change. I come from a different generation, and so that's not what I was taught. And so there's obviously different generations and different thoughts, but what I want you guys to understand is on social media, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that if you're using social media from a business building purpose. Now, if you're just using social media just to connect with friends and whatever, have a good time, then by all means do you. But if you're trying to use social media to build a business, then there are some things that you may want to be mindful of. Headshot. Your headshot photo should be clear. It should be attractive. You should be smiling in your headshot. Again, this is the first impression that people get. Now, I had a young lady that said, June, I keep trying to connect with you on Facebook, and you keep denying my connection. I said, well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. I said, and what I found out was that she didn't have a headshot. And so it's so much scams and so many things that are going on Facebook these days that I go through a lot of people that want to connect with me, and I just delete. And I don't know about you guys, but on Facebook, I get 3 or 4 friend requests every day of these women that got on these skin-tight clothes, or maybe they got on bikinis or thongs or whatever I don't know what it is. I'm just like, what's going on? And so I'm very careful of who I accept on my Facebook timeline now because there's just so much stuff that's going on. And so what you want to do is you don't want me to deny you because of something that I see on your page, because that's what's happening, and that could be what's happening if you don't have the right things. So your cover photo, be creative. Don't overdo it. A picture of your family, your team. If you're at the beach, you're playing sports, you're having fun. Those are all great things for a cover. And then have a good profile description. Now, I got a question that's coming in, and let's go ahead and answer this question. How often would you say to post about your business as long as its value, it doesn't matter? Okay. All right. So and somebody else said those are porn websites from overseas. Yeah, I kind of figured it because, I'm like, you know what? I know I'm a good-looking guy, but it can't be that many women that's attracted to me like that. So let me answer your question on how often you should post about your business. I used to say, this is what I used to tell people. I used to tell people to give value, sale. So I used to say give like 3 to 4 value and then, post something about your business. Today, I'm a little bit different on that. And so today, I think that you can constantly post about your business if you do it the right way. So let me just take a quick moment and share with you what I mean by this. And again, those of you that have been here on my calls, you've seen this before. And so one of the things that I think that's really important is when you're writing and you're talking on your post, that you're constantly thinking about how you're going to drive people back to your company, but at the same time be an authority figure. Okay, and so I'm scrolling through here. These are obviously some people that have posted some things about me. But, here's my Sunday night call. So, my Sunday night call is something that I do every Sunday night. I have consistency on this. So I do an image and I do my call every Sunday night. I make the replay available. Now, I make the replay available, obviously, for associates, my econ associates. But the reality is that that's not really who the replay is for. The replay is for those people who are connected to me, who are not yet in my econ, who want to learn more about my econ. But they may not be ready to approach me about it. I got to tell you, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of your friends, a lot of your coworkers. If you do this right, if you post on Facebook correctly, they will stalk you. And what I mean by stalking you, they will read everything that you post. They'll look at everything that you post. And then whenever they get the guts, or whenever they get the courage to step up and talk to you and ask you about what you're doing, they will. But what you have to do is you have to be consistent about what it is that you're actually doing. So for me, every Sunday night, I've got something that's coming up because I'm doing a call, and then I've got a link to my call. And so I make that available because I know that there are people that follow me who, for whatever reason, haven't had the courage yet to stand up and say something. Now, I'm getting to the question that the person asked about how often do you post about your business. Well, every post can be about your business if you know how to do it. This post right here is just me sharing a resource that says cutting through credit score confusion after Experian fine. And so I'm constantly talking about stocks. I'm constantly talking about getting out of debt. I'm constantly talking about repairing credit. What I'm not constantly talking about is my econ. So I'm talking about the areas that my econ works on, the areas that my econ fixes. I'm talking about the symptoms. I'm not talking about the company. And so to answer your question, if you're constantly talking about the symptoms, then I think everything that you post could be about your company. Because remember, I'm talking about credit. I'm talking about Experian, which is credit repair, and we're going to be coming out with that very, very shortly. So I got all different types of things that I'll post here. Here's another Sunday night call. Now, for me, I don't use Facebook as much as I used to, but when I do use Facebook, and you guys have seen me do this, I'm going to scroll back up here and share this with you. I like to use this thing called Notes. I like to use Facebook Notes. And so, here's one note that I did a while back, and I talked about how I just sold Tesla. I sold the stock. I had stock in Tesla, and I sold that stock, right? And I go in and I talk about the 56% gain that I had in that stock, and I tell my story. Well, guess what? I'm building my authority. Because I'm actually showing people, and not only do I talk about it, I'm actually showing them my trade. They actually get a chance to see the trade window, and I talk about what I'm actually doing. And so people are interested in that. And then at the very bottom of that post, I've got a link that goes back to me and goes to my econ page, right? So it's very subtle. I'm selling my econ, but in a very subtle way, because what I want to do is I want to build my authority figure first. I want people to say, man, if you having a problem with credit, call June. Man, if you got 401k, if you got some investment questions, call June. See, that's what I want them to do. And then when they start talking to me, I build that relationship with them, and then I share with them, hey, listen, you're not going to learn all of this overnight. You're going to have to plug in. You need to get in business for yourself, and you need to get around a good group of folks that you can begin to glean some of this information from. And that good group of folks is my econ. Now I get to talk to them about my econ because why? I have their trust, because they view me as the expert. They view me as the authority figure because I've been posting stuff like this all along, okay? Let's take a look at what other question I got coming in. Hopefully viewer number 19, not 19, hopefully viewer number 6, I answer that question. Viewer number 19 says, I usually check LinkedIn before I accept friend requests on Facebook. That's a good strategy as well, because, we get to pick and choose who we want to be friends with. We get to pick and choose who we want to do business with. And I've learned, and it took me some time to learn this, everybody isn't good for your business. You don't want everybody in your business. Some people will just drain the life out of you. And so that's a good strategy to take a look at people's profile. Ms. Pam Sam says, I work at recruiting on Facebook. I get friend requests from new MDs. I don't know how to tell them I have a finite slots and I recruit here. I cannot keep track of everyone, and I will befriend your friends and may recruit them. So I hear what you're saying, Pam, and for me, I have even a bigger challenge now because I'm at corporate and I have a big footprint, and so a lot of the people that connect with me are already in the business. They're already in my econ. And for that, what I would tell people to do, and I have not done this, I did this late in the game, and my personal profile is just so much stronger than my fan page. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have built my following from my fan page so that I didn't have that problem. Because with your fan page, you have unlimited, followers and that type of thing. And so what you may have to do from time to time is you may have to go and start cleaning out your Facebook friends so that you have more spots if you get to that point. I think 5,000 is the max that you can have that are connected. So that might be something that you have to do. And we're going to talk a little bit about, how you control some of that tonight as we go a little bit deeper into the course tonight. So that's Facebook, and let's talk about creating that great content. There are 5 types of content or types of posts that you should be making. So this goes back to that question, how often should I be posting about my business? The first type of post is an educational post. This is a post where you actually teach people something that are following you. Now, one of the nice things that we're going to be doing with this Smart Money Kit that's going to be coming out is now you're going to learn a lot about credit repair, and so you now are going to be able to position yourself to be able to teach people about different pieces or different strategies of credit repair. And I wouldn't give the whole farm away, but what I would do is I would teach certain things. Like, for example, one of the things that you will learn is that, you can pull a free credit report once a year from annualcreditreport.com. And in the course, you'll learn how to do that. And you get that free credit report once a year. Well, here's the challenge, though, with getting that free credit report. When it's free and you dispute an item, and you dispute that item because of the free credit report that you pulled, the creditor and the credit bureaus have 45 days to respond versus 30 days if you actually had paid for the credit report. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I don't know why they did that, but that's one of the laws that's inside of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, is if you pull your credit report for free, instead of 30 days, the credit reporting agency gets 45 days to give you a response back. So it's little things like that you'll start learning and that you can be educating people. Now, is that going to help anybody improve their credit score? No. But what it does is it's the little tidbits of information that people go, man, that guy is pretty deep. He knows this thing about credit. And so what we've done is we've given you tons and tons of resources so that anybody in my econ could really become very, very knowledgeable about credit in a short period of time, in a very, very short period of time. And so the educational piece is really that's my strength. I love talking about education. Now, lifestyle. lifestyle is where you share photos of what you do for fun when you're on vacation, when you're hanging out with friends. So I know Miss Pam, you went overseas. You went to I forget where it was that you went to, but I saw your photos and your pictures, and those are things that people love. People love watching and looking at your lifestyle. And so for those of you that travel a lot, those of you that like to have parties and you like to have fun, and and it doesn't even have to be traveling out of country or anything like that, but maybe you like going downtown Atlanta in the summertime for the jazz festivals and for this and for that, and you're taking a lot of pictures of you and your significant other having fun and enjoying yourself. Those are the types of things that people want to see. Because remember, social media is really designed for you to show people your lifestyle. Now, you don't want to show them the bad part of your lifestyle, because we all got those blue days. We all have those rainy days. That's not the piece that we want to showcase on social media. What we want to do is every time somebody sees June, it's like, man, that guy he's got a mild grin on his face every time I see him. He's always smiling. Life must be really great for him all the time. And so when people see that, they say, I want some of that. I want some of that happiness. I want some of that joy. And so lifestyle is great for your photos, for your Facebook content. Engaging. Ask hot topic questions and then get feedback from your followers. Now, this is important, and I want to really take a little bit of time here to talk about why this is important. It says ask hot topic questions to get feedback from your followers. So here's why that's so important. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of different things with you tonight on Facebook. But one of the things that you want to do is when you are on your timeline. So here I am. Let me just go to my regular Facebook here. How do I do it? Let me just get here to Facebook. So this is me logged into Facebook, right? And so let me change something here. I'm gonna go back and show you something here in a second. But as I scroll through, what Facebook is going to show me is it's going to show me the people that I'm pretty much connected with all the time. So I pretty much see everything that Antonio publishes because he's a good friend of mine and we talk all the time, and I comment on his stuff and he comments on mine. And so Facebook is always showing me his stuff, right? But he's already in the business, right? And so as you can see, there's another post from Antonio and another one, from Antonio. So you see, I can see a lot of his posts. Marquell is my sponsor, and so I see a lot of his posts and stuff. But the engagement that you want Facebook to show your post on other people's timeline or on their feed. You want your stuff to show up on their feed. And the way that happens is Facebook wants to see what kind of engagement do you have with these people. And so if people are commenting on your timeline, so in this example, here's Marquell. He's typed something in. 2017 has been blank so far. This is a prime example of what I just said. So what he's doing is he's getting people to comment. So Katrina says challenging. Hank says unbelievable. Now, what value does this provide? Because many of you probably see this and you don't understand, what does that got to do with anything? What does that have to do with people on social media actually getting in my business? Because that's ultimately what I'm here for, is I'm here for them to get in my business. Well, here's what you got to understand. If people never see your post in the beginning, then they definitely are not going to get in your business if they never even see your post. So what a post like this is doing, what Marquell is doing with this post, is he's getting people to respond to him. And so now Facebook says, well, Hank responded to Marquell, so I'm going to start showing, every time Marquell starts posting things, I'm going to make sure that Marquell stuff shows up in Hank's feed, because Hank is communicating with Marquell through the comment section. So what Marquell is doing here is he's getting people to comment so that the algorithm that that Facebook uses says that when Markwell posts, make sure that these people see his post because these people communicate with Markwell. Then he must be good friends with them. So you almost, and it's not like you're gaming the system, but what you're doing is you're making sure that your posts actually show up in somebody's feed. You want to make sure that your posts show up in somebody's feed. Because understand this, if you have 5,000 friends on Facebook and you post something, all 5,000 are not going to see it. I promise you that. They are not going to see it. But if you want to increase your chances of them seeing it, then you've got to be engaging with them. They got to engage on your timeline. You need to engage on their timeline, okay? So that's why you see things like this. This has absolutely no value whatsoever from a business perspective, and it's not designed to have value from a business perspective. This post is designed to get people to comment so that they can see his other posts that do have value. I hope that makes sense to everyone. I hope that makes sense, okay? So we'll go back here and talk a little bit more about a few of these things here. So engaging, entertaining. You know, people like to laugh, and so, you know, share some funny videos or share a funny picture or something of humor. People like that. They like to know that you have a sense of humor because, again, not only do you want to be an authority figure, not only do you want to be an expert, but you also want to be somebody that people are not afraid to approach. See, some people are just so corporate and they're so rigid that they are intelligent and they're smart, but people just don't feel comfortable picking up the phone and calling the person. So you want to show that you got a good sense of humor. And then motivation. You know, everybody needs motivation. So share affirmations, positive, uplifting messages. You know, Haziq Ali does this a lot. You know, he's very motivating. He shares affirmations. Brian Bean does this a lot. So what you'll find is that everyone on this call, you'll find that you'll have maybe one or two of these areas that are real strong areas for you. For me, it's number one. It's educational. I know that that's my strongest suit when it comes to me posting. For other people, it might be motivation or entertaining or engagement, okay? But you want to learn how to do a mixture of all five. All right, so that's content. Now, what about growing our Facebook? So you want to connect with 5 to 10 new friends on Facebook every day. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you want to send them a friend connection request, but you want to look at their pictures, you want to like their pictures, you want to comment on a couple of their posts, and you want to look for ways to engage outside of just a friend request. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. You know, you can join Facebook groups, and then you can interact with the group and comment on other people's posts. Look for the newest members that are in a group. And then there's a Facebook graph search, and I'm going to share that with you here as well. So let's take a look at, you know, what I would do if I'm on Facebook and I'm building relationships. Because, see, here's the other thing that you got to understand. If you don't add new people to your Facebook on a constant basis, then the only people that are looking at your stuff is the old people who already know what you do anyway. So you got to get new eyeballs, fresh eyeballs that are looking at your things, okay? And so let's just say I'm going to go out and take a look at maybe some groups that I might belong to. Let's just see here. I'll take a group like this, okay, work from home opportunity group, whatever. And I'm going to scroll down and I see Deidre, okay. So here's Deidre. She's talking, and maybe I don't know Deidre. And so what I would do is I would go down here and I would either like this, I might make a comment, right? And Deidre and I may or may not be connected. I don't know if I'm connected to her or not. Nope, I'm not connected to her, okay? So we're not connected. So instead of me sending her a connection request, what I might, like I said, what I would do is I might start a comment here, great share, right? You know, just something very, very simple like that. And then I might even go to Deidre's profile and take a look at her profile. Now, Deidre has a beautiful smile. She's just grinning from ear to ear, okay? So I might click on that, right? And because we're not connected, I can't necessarily comment. I can't comment on anything because we're not connected just yet, all right? Now, if we get connected, then I'll be able to, to make some comments. But I can comment. Oh, here we go. I don't know why I can comment on this. I'll do this. Love this photo. I totally agree. Let me read it first. Never give up on something you really want. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. Totally agree. No regrets. Right? And then I might put a little smiley face here. And then I'm going to just hit enter. All right. So now, here's what I need you to understand. In the last 3 minutes, I commented on one of Deidre's posts in a group that we belong to. I came to her page, and then I actually commented on one of her posts, right? And so, and yeah, you want to read the post first before you start commenting, okay? Now, here's what's going to happen. There's no doubt that Deidre, because Deidre and I don't know each other, she is going to go, who is this guy, June Collier? And she's going to click on it, and she's going to go look at my profile. There's no doubt. That's what she's going to do. And that's my purpose. My purpose is for her to go look at my profile. I don't really give 2 cents about this photo, but my purpose is that I want to comment on this photo, and then I want her to go check me out, right? And so that's part of that process of being on social media doing what we call trolling. This is what we call trolling. You're just trolling around, and you're looking for the person to connect to. Now, before I had really started doing this, I would probably do like a lot of you. I'm going to check Deidre out. I'm going to look at her profile. I see that she went to Norfolk State University. She lives in Maryland. She's single. I might go through a couple of her photos and take a look at her pictures, look at who she's connected with. I'm going to look at her timeline. So I'm going to go through and get an opportunity to see who Deidre is and get to know her, okay? And then that's when I would make my comments there, all right? All right, somebody said, can you make your page smaller? I sure can. Let's take this down a little bit. I think I can. I thought I could. It's not letting me go any smaller. So I don't know if that's because of me during the recording. It won't let me take the zoom down. So you might have to make it smaller on your end because it's not letting me do it on my end, and I think that's because I'm recording. All right, so let's go back and take a look at our slideshow here. Let's talk about this. It said make 5 to 10 new friends on Facebook, join Facebook groups. So, we always want to look at different types of groups that are out there. I might go out here and look for a credit repair group, right? And so, I might go out here and just take a look and see what groups are out here. Here's a credit repair group. It's got 1,500 members in it, right? So I might click on that and take a look around and see what this group is all about, what they're talking about, and then I might join the group, right? So I joined the group, but here's the other thing that I'm going to be looking at. There's over 1,500 members that are in this group. Now, are these people looking for credit repair? Probably not. I mean, I know a few of these folks. Some of these folks are in other credit repair type companies, but I'm going to look through and see, who these people are and maybe start engaging in a conversation with them and say, hey, I noticed that you belong to the credit repair group. Do you do credit repair? Are you involved in credit repair? We just got a new service that we are rolling out. I want to find out more about these folks, right? And so this is how I start building those types of relationships off of just groups. Okay, and then the other thing that I haven't shown in quite some time is I have this tool right up here in my browser. It's called the Facebook search tool, and I can search Facebook based on a couple of different things. So I'm going to search on people, and I'm going to hit my drop down, and I'm going to look for some people that live right in, let me just say Maryland. Say Maryland, okay, that live in Maryland, and let's just say that I'm looking for some men in Maryland. I want to build my team, get me some guys to build my team up in Maryland. Let's just say that they like network marketing, right? So I can select something like this, and then I'm just going to hit search. And so what Facebook is going to do, Facebook said ain't nobody out there like that. So let's go back and take a look again. Let me go back and do another search here. Let's take out this, and let's see. Nobody in Maryland likes that. Let's go back and take a look again. Let's say Network Marketing Pro, Eric Worre. Wow. All right. Let me just say Washington, D.C. And then I'll search. There we go. So these folks that live in Washington, D.C., you see that they all live in Washington, D.C., and they like Network Marketing by Eric Worre, right? And so I know that all of these guys are in the D.C. area, okay? They're all in D.C. area. And then these might be some people that I'm going to be reaching out to, and it must have taken off the male because I'm getting some females in here. But these are people that I might be reaching out to if I'm building my team or building a team in the D.C. area. So you can use this particular tool, and this is a Chrome extension tool. The way that you get this particular tool is you go to intel-sw, called intel-sw.com, and that tool will allow you to pull some amazing things back. Let me give you another example of what I could pull back. So let's just say that I'm looking for people that live, I'm just going to say right here in the Atlanta area, okay? So we got Atlanta, and they like, and maybe I'm looking for some of my fraternity brothers. So Kappa, Alpha, Psi, all right? So I'm just going to put that there, and let's just say that they also like Eric Worre. They like that network marketing, all right? And let me search Facebook, see if I got any fraternity brothers in the Atlanta area that actually like network marketing. So it's searching, all right? And so these are different tools that you can actually use to narrow down people that will give you an opportunity to start connecting with the right people. See, there's billions of people that are on Facebook, and we want to connect with the right people. All right, this thing is still rotating, so we're going to move on. All right, note to self. Never knew that existed. All right, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's going on. Why did that Kappa Alpha Psi? Take that out and just see if I can just do a search there. Yeah, something's going on because it just keeps rotating. Somebody said, where did I go for the search? So this is the little icon here up here at the top, and the software is called intel-sw.com. If you go to intel-sw.com, you'll find it, and it'll actually take you to the Google Play Store where you can actually download or get the software. So here's the software right here. I think it's It's on this site here somewhere. It's on here somewhere. IntelliSearch. That's what it's called. Intelligent Search. And then if you click on that blue button, it'll take you over to the Google Chrome extension, and you can add that to your Chrome absolutely free. All right? All right. All right. Let's cover a few more things here. Last thing that I want to talk about before we get into actually Facebook 100% is I want to talk about consistency. Consistency is better than rare moments of greatness. You got to be consistent. So I got a question that came to me last week, and it said, June, how are you still putting people in with all the stuff that you're doing at corporate? You're building this, you're doing that. How are you still doing it? And it's because I'm consistent. And for me, my consistency is Sunday night. I have my Sunday night call, and I post that on Facebook, and then I have that on SoundCloud. So I got the audio on SoundCloud. I got videos on YouTube. And so those types of things, me doing those things consistently, have really helped me drive traffic to me without me, really going after it myself. And so you got to be consistent with your marketing. You can't stop being consistent with your marketing. You have to be consistent with your marketing. And then why Facebook? Facebook is the largest social media site on the internet. You're going to find a ton of network marketers who use Facebook to attract people to their business opportunity. And so Facebook is that's the place. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. So I want to share with you a couple of things on Facebook that you may or may not have been aware of, and we'll go through these things here. Okay? Let me close out a few of these windows here. I've got a couple of windows that are open. All right. Go back to our home page here. So let's talk about parts of Facebook that you might not be using. So I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm about to show you. Up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a section on your Facebook page called Newsfeed. Now, under this Newsfeed, if you click the little buttons here, you're going to get either the top stories or the most recent stories. And most of you it's already going to be automatically checked to the top stories. Now, let me explain to you what the top stories are. Those are the stories of the people that you connect with all the time. So remember I told you about Antonio Brutus. Me and him talk all the time. He's a good friend of mine. I see all his posts. Well, he's going to come up in the top story. Also in the top story will be those stories that get a whole bunch of likes and, people liking and commenting on those stories. But sometimes what you want to do is you want to take a look at the most recent. These are like the newest stories on Facebook that don't have a whole lot of likes yet and people that you may not have seen in a while. And so when I do the newest, I'm looking at, Scotty just posted this. He just posted this. If I scroll down, this person just posted this. Just posted it. Okay? Boom, I'm going to just hit like here. Here's another lady that just posted this about 26 minutes ago, right? I'm just going through liking these folks, There are Alberto. He just posted this 1 minute ago. So this is like new stuff. Now, if I just posted this 1 minute ago, that means that I'm on Facebook right now. Now, I need you to think about when you post something. When you post something and then a minute later somebody likes it, do you go back and see who it was? Absolutely. You go back and you see who that person was. And so I like the new post because it allows me to connect with people almost on an immediate basis because they just posted this. They just posted this, okay? They just posted this. All right? And so these are people that I'm just building these relationships with, okay? And again, I may like it, I may comment. And that's what you want to do. You want to spend, 10 to 15 minutes a day doing something like that, where you just go in here and you just go down the line and you read it And I'm just going to put like this right here, truth, right? And I ain't really saying nothing, but all I'm doing is I'm making sure that we, Facebook knows that I love the Smiths and we're going to stay connected, okay? And I'll come down here and I'll read the next one, and then I'll like it, right? And I keep on moving. Because what I'm doing is that these people are going to be like, who is June Collier? Just like I do not know this person, but obviously we're connected. I don't know her. I haven't seen any of her posts. So I'm going to just click like and keep it moving. And some of the posts I actually read and I actually comment. And I would advise you to do that. Go through some of these posts and actually comment. But this is how you start building your engagement, especially if you're brand new to building engagement and becoming an authority figure. For me, because I have so many people connected and I've built this engagement, I don't have to do it as much as I used to do it. When nobody knew who I was, this is what I was doing. I was going down here and I was reading people's stuff, and I would either like it, I would comment, I would do all of those types of things. Okay? Those things are important. So that's your news feed. Your news feed. Now, I wonder how many of you are using Messenger in the way that I'm going to share with you here. So Messenger. Now, you used to only be able to do this with your phone. But now when you click on Messenger, right down here, you got this little microphone, right? And in this little microphone, if you click that microphone, it will allow you to record an audio. And I'm going to give you an example. So I'm going to click this record. Hey, Brother Hilton, this is June Collier. I'm doing a training right now, and I thought I would use your profile as an example. So, again, thinking about you, man. Give me a call when you get a chance. I'd love to catch up with you. So now what I did there is instead of typing something in, I left them an actual voice message. So what you're doing is you're setting yourself apart. So if you see somebody that you want to connect with, and instead of typing them, you might just go ahead and hit the voice thing and just talk to them. Send them a voice message. Most people don't use that. Ask yourself this question. When was the last time that somebody sent you a voice message through Facebook chat or through Facebook Messenger, right? So what you want to do is you want to always do things that are setting yourself apart and different from the crowd, all right? So that's another thing that I use is I use the Messenger a lot, and I use it just to, just say, hey, what's up, hello, whatever, okay? All right, the next thing is events. So I'm going to go down here to my events. How many of you are actually creating an event? So, for example, those of you that are in Atlanta, we got Super Saturday coming up this Saturday. What prevents you from going up here and creating an event? Create yourself a public event. Put in a little picture here. Put in the event name, the time, and then say, hey, we're having a financial summit, or we're having a cash flow conference. Come out and receive a free gift just for showing up. Make sure you look for June Collier and ask for your free gift. So you might be saying, well, June, what free gift am I going to give away? Well, why not create some business cards that have the cashback mall and give away free cashback malls? See, I didn't say what the free gift was, but if they show up to the Super Saturday and they say, I'm looking for June Collier because they saw my event, I'm going to give them a free gift. I'm going to say, hey, here's a cashback mall. This is what this does, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Or, if you're going to host a credit repair webinar, you can do this with a webinar. So, we're going to have slide presentations that are available to you where you can actually do that. So you can be able to host your own webinar. So use these events. These events are really, really powerful to get people to taking a look at what it is that you do. All right, your profile. Remember I said that your profile, you should keep your profile fresh, make it look good, professional, and you should probably change out your profile cover photo from time to time. I'm lazy. I haven't changed mine out. But here's something else that's important. See over here in the intro, you can have a link, or you can have your website link here. Now, mine isn't working right now, but I'm gonna create a new one here that's gonna point people to my podcast, right? But this is Prime Real Estate, where you can put a link to one of your websites. Prime Real Estate. All right. Another thing that you might want to think about doing: photos. If you click on photos, and I go here and I go to my photos, these are all of my photos, right? Here's me and Sid. And so in my photos, I might go back in here and edit my photos and put, a link to one of my websites, my squeeze pages. I think I got one called Debt Elimination .ga, right? And then I'm going to click Done Editing. Let's see what I got to do to turn this into a hyperlink here. I want to turn this into a hyperlink. So maybe I'll do this, HTTP. And I think that will turn into a hyperlink. KP, what is this? I hate these things. HWM6. All right. So see, I turned that into a hyperlink. And so now, I might go through all my pictures and make sure that all my pictures got a link back to my squeeze page. Because I never know who's going to be looking at this picture, right? Never know who's going to be looking at me and say it, So I go through my pictures and have hyperlinks back to my capture page. Ms. Cheryl said, we did Columbia for April 22nd. Ivy Stokes will be in the building with our financial focus literacy group. Great shout out. That's a shout out for Columbia. All right, so we want to put our links in our photos, right? So you probably got plenty of photos that you can do that with. I mean, I got plenty of photos here that I can actually do that with. All right? So this is the last thing that I want to do. I want to talk about categorizing your friends, right? So here's something. Now I haven't done a good job at this, and this is something that I need to do. So if you go to your Facebook profile, let me just click on Facebook here, and you scroll over here to the left-hand side, you'll see a section that says Friends List. So if I click on that, I can create all these different types of lists. So like, when I was in 5 Links, I had lists in 5 Links. I had people that was in my sideline. I had my business partners, right? And so when I had my friends, I would actually label them as 5 Links business partners or whatever. Now, here's the cool part about creating a label and categorizing your friends in those labels. If I just want to look at my 5 Links business partners, if I click on this, then all this is going to do is it's going to show me the post of the people that were in business with me. So here's Curly. I hadn't talked to Curly in forever. So that's somebody that was in my business. That's Curly again. Here's Kurt. Kurt was in my business. Here's Jennifer. Jennifer was in the business. So these are all the people that I was connected to in 5 Links. And so you'll see that it's just showing their post. So what value is that to you? Well, you can create all different types of friend lists. You can create lists of people from high school. You can create lists of people that live in your area in Atlanta. You can create lists of people. And so now when you're getting ready to market or you're getting ready to say, you know what, I need to reach out to some folks, then you now can go and take your different lists that you've created. I created a list of network marketers. Boom, if I click on that, all of these folks I know are in the network marketing business. Derek, John, all of these folks I know are in the network marketing business, right? Okay? So you are able to create your list of friends, and then you're able to categorize your friends into certain lists. And that's really, really important, and it's really, really cool to be able to do if you utilize it in the right way. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 3 minutes till 10. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the call. If you have questions, you'll be able to ask your questions, and you can type them in or you can ask your questions. Let me do this. You're going to have to hit *6 on your phone. All right, hit *6 on your phone if you have a question about online marketing. We talked about Facebook here tonight. *6 on your phone if you got a question. All right, *6 on your phone, or you can type in your questions. *6 on your phone, or type in your questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we don't seem to have any questions that are coming in tonight. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and close out for tonight. So I want to thank you for being on the call tonight. Thank you for sharing some time with us on the call tonight. We do these calls every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So next Tuesday we'll be at it again. And if you have questions or if you have things that you would like to see in an upcoming class, go ahead and send me an email or hit me up on Facebook. Give me some suggestions on what you would like to see, and I'll see if I can fit that into our training. So until next Tuesday, we'll see you. Good night, everyone.